Welcome, Crucible Companions, to another AndyForge video. We are finally back into our regular AndyForge grind, so you're looking at bi-weekly deck opening videos with scattered shorts and maybe other content here and there. I'm excited to dig back in. I'm sure you guys are familiar with my format. If you are not and you're a new viewer, welcome, happy to have you. A quick rundown of the format is I take a deck, open it up, we take a look at the Archon in the houses, super quick commentary on that, pivot over to card reveal, showing each card, and then a deck breakdown at the end there, where we talk about SAS and its competitive viability and so on. But let's dig in. Hope everybody's been having fun. We've got our store championships underway here in the Southeast, so I have been to a number of them. Went to my store's Archon tournament last weekend, and I'm excited, not this weekend, but next weekend, we will have our sealed tournament. I'm super excited to keep digging into these. Hopefully soon we'll have some weekly OP updates. Seems like the steam in the engine's been dying a little. It would be good to get weekly OP finally going. Alrighty. Got a green Archon. First house is Star Alliance. Then Mars. Then Geistoid. Okay. What the? That name. Okay. What Let's get a closer look. This is Miss Elmo Oppenheimer? What a collaboration of pop culture figures. Didn't ever think that I would, see Elmo and Oppenheimer together in such a way, but here we are. Mars and Geistoid are two of the best houses in this set, so I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Star Alliance can be good, kind of depends on the creatures that you get, because honestly the Star Alliance creatures are really good, and the actions can be good. It really depends on what turns up. This Archon looks really weird. It's got this kind of like rain formation at the top there. Its right arm is kind of dissipating, and its left arm is I'm gonna say like a stake. It's like one appendage, almost like a spider leg, holding up some kind of rock. Very interesting looking. Okay, well, give me one moment and we will dig into the card reveal. Okay, we are here now with our card reveal. Get another close look at that Archon without the wrapping. Looks really, really cool. I love the use of the negative space that they've been doing and the kind of bursts. The differences in the Archon art is super interesting for this set. It's a weird thing that you didn't think, or at least I didn't think I would notice, but has made a pretty big difference. There's definitely things that they are mixing up with the Archon generation. I'm happy to see it. We've set our deck list to the side there, so now we are going to set our extra rules card away from all of the awakening stuff. I'm so used to seeing special formats. We are starting in Star Alliance. Okay. First card here is the action Unprepared. It's got an Amber Pip, and it reads, play, choose a house, stun each creature of that house. Not bad creature control. I actually really like Unprepared. Triangulator Newsome. This is a 4-power creature with deploy, and after Reap, if you are haunted, move each Amber from Triangulator Newsome's neighbors to your pool. Very good. If you can get some Comm Officer Palik or Palk, they work really well together. We've got Survey here. It is an action with an Amber Pip. It enhances a draw into the deck, and it reads, play, look at the top 2 cards of your deck, discard one of them. Not bad. 2 of those. Much more excited about their enhance than I am the card. Then we've got Quartermaster Body. 4-power creature with play after fight after Reap. If you are haunted, capture 2. Be a great creature to put next to Triangulator Newsome. Then we've got Pyro here. It's a 3-power creature with Splash Attack 3 that reads, Pyro may be played as an upgrade instead of a creature with the text, this creature gains Splash Attack 3. Could be great with Body to get the fights doing a little bit more there. Ooh, and then we have Lieutenant Halasta, 3-power creature enhanced with a draw pip. You kind of hate to see those enhancements on creatures with scrap effects, but that's okay. She reads, after Reap, stun a creature, and Scrap, stun the most powerful enemy creature. Very interesting. Then we've got the upgrade Essence Entangler here. It's got an Amber Pip and it reads, this creature gets minus X power, where X is the number of amber on it, or on this creature, or scrap, move 1 amber from a creature to another creature. That's not bad. Can result in you gaining some amber either way. It is a great way to deal with like Trawler. Then we've got the upgrade prototype Harness. It's got an Amber Pip and it reads, this creature gets plus 6 power and gains at the start of your turn, deal 1 damage to this creature. Oh, and then we have the artifact Near Future Lens. It reads, play with the top card of your deck revealed. Omni, play the top card of your deck as if it belonged to the active house and was in your hand. Super great utility. That reveal it eventually ends up revealing your entire hand, just with, you know, you're revealing as you draw every single card. But it's super, super cool. There's some crazy combos that you can get off with Near Future Lens just by virtue of it revealing the top card of your deck. And it's no longer an anomaly. It's just a straight up card now. Super happy to see it. Then we've got the action Bad Chemistry. It's got an Amber Pip enhanced with a draw, so it looks like both of those draw landed in Star Alliance, unless we have some other draw enhancements later. The action reads, play, stun each creature that shares a house with 1 or more of its neighbors. It's not bad. There are definitely better stun cards, ones that we've seen in this deck. In fact, I'd feel like Unprepared is a bit better than Bad Chemistry, but oh well. It is, fun fact, one of the few ways that we get to see a KeyFrog nowadays. KeyFrog not being reprinted on Untamed this set, but sitting right there in that druid's lap, making the Star Alliance creature person sick. And then we've got the rare card, Cultural Exchange. It's an action with an Amber Pip. Play, your opponent puts each card from their archives into their hand. Very mediocre for a rare. It can affect their archives, but often because the way that the opponent is like putting things together, it won't be that big of a deal unless we force cards into their archives, which, you know, it's fine. It's great against a heavy archive Mars, a Mars that has just a ton of scoop up and stuff, but outside of that very specific scenario, it's fine. Ooh, okay. And we're getting into Mars here, starting with a fantastic card. This is the action UFO. It's got an Amber Pip, reads, play, discard cards from the top of your deck until you discard a Mars card or run out of cards. If you discard a Mars card this way, put it into your hand. It is Lethalogica, but for Mars. Super, super good, especially in this set with how strong Mars can be in Grim Reminders. We got 2 of those. Flotsam Spewer. This is a 2-power creature with splash attack 2 that reads each of Flotsam Spewer's Mars neighbors gains splash attack 2. Ooh, Mars first. Okay, get the action. It's got an Amber Pip. Play, ready, and use a friendly Mars creature. This can combo pretty heavy with some of the Mars creatures in this set. Got Grabber Jammer, 4 power, 1 armor. Your opponent's keys cost +1, and after fight, after reap, capture 1. Very good. Love Grabber Jammer. 2 of those. Happy to have them. Glixel Proliferator, 3-power creature with After Reap. If Glixel Proliferator is on a flank, archive a Mars card from your discard pile. A fantastic Mars first choice. Can keep your heavy-hitting Mars stuff recycling, like this card. Don't Believe Your Eyes is an action. Play, if you are haunted, a creature captures 2 amber from its own side. Otherwise, a creature captures 1. Ooh, and then we have Psychic Network. It's an action that reads, play, steal 1 amber for each friendly ready Mars creature. Oh my gosh, okay, and then we have Key Abduction. Guess we have to hope for a Winds of Death in our Geistoid to really combo off this Key Abduction. It's an action with an Amber Pip. Play, return each Mars creature to its owner's hand, then you may forge a key at +9 current cost reduced by 1 for each card in your hand. If we can get Winds of Exchange to go off, and we have Proliferator and Mars First in hand, we could archive our Key Abduction the same turn that we play it and get that cycling pretty easy. Ooh, then we have Erixum the Diplomat, 2-power creature with elusive. After reap, lose all your amber. Destroy an enemy non-Mars creature for each amber lost this way. Not bad. Happy to see more Mars creatures for the variety of effects that it helps. Also, if we're able to get, our key cost down with Key Abduction real big, and we just have Amber, this would be a great use of it. 2 of those. Okay, not bad. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, this will make it... Wow, okay, this will make archiving really easy. I don't know. I wasn't expecting this. This is gonna be a pretty crazy Key Abduction deck already. Okay. Sorry, I'm in a little bit of shock. We're in Geistoid, starting with the creature TikTok, 2 power, 1 armor. Reads, at the end of your turn, put a time counter on each friendly clock creature. If there are 3 or more time counters on TikTok, destroy TikTok. If you do, archive up to 3 cards from your hand and discard pile. So for those of you that don't know, TikTok is a part of a combo. I think I might have already opened a deck with it in the Awakening decks, maybe? I'm not sure, but if you don't know, it comes with multiple other creatures that are clock creatures that builds up time counters, but the thing with TikTok is that the way that it reads is you destroy TikTok and then you archive from your hand or discard pile. So TikTok can self-archive, so if you get multiple TikToks, you can end up archiving pretty consistently, just picking TikTok back up and then archiving again. So it can get out of hand real fast, or push comes to shove, however many TikToks we have, I mean that's 3 cards archived just to, pick up our Key Abduction and really get things moving. So this is really awesome. It also all cultivates to, if you get enough time counters on a certain creature that we'll see later, you get an extra turn. So super, super powerful. We've got 2 TikToks. Can we get a third? That would really, really make things great. No third. Okay, that's okay though. Then we've got the Chronometer. It's 4 power, 2 armor creature with, at the end of your turn, put a time counter on each friendly clock creature. If there are 6 or more time counters on Chronometer, destroy Chronometer. If you do, purge a card from a discard pile. With the way that Grim Reminders works and you wanting to maintain your haunted status, getting rid of your own cards is often a bad idea. Even if Star Alliance isn't great, Star Alliance could be good cards to archive with TikTok. If we can just pick 6 Star Alliance cards and then just not recur that house, and eventually cycle back to TikTok and, archive 6 more Star Alliance or something. So Chronometer will be used mostly for the opponent's deck, make it harder for them to stay in Haunted if it's Grim Reminders, and if it's not Grim Reminders, then it's just great targeted removal for out of set. We've got 2 of those. And then the Creature of the Hour, pun intended, this is our 6 power, 3 armor Ancestral Timekeeper. At the end of your turn, put a time counter on each friendly clock creature. If there are 12 or more time counters on Ancestral Timekeeper, purge Ancestral Timekeeper. If you do, take another turn after this one. So it does purge itself, but you get an extra turn, which is effectively just a really good key cheat, especially if we can snowball it into some Key Abduction nonsense. Have to hope that we also get Winds of Death. If we can get Winds of Death with these, it'll start going real crazy. We've got the 3 power creature here, Snippy, Skirmish. Play, deal 2 damage to a creature, and scrap, destroy an enemy flank creature. Super good creature control, always love seeing Snippy. Hallowed Eve Festival, it's an action with an Amber Pip. Play, discard the top 5 cards of your deck. For each Geistwood card discarded this way, a friendly creature captures 1 Amber. Not bad, love Hallowed Eve Festival. It also works out really well with our Triangulator Newsome. Ooh, be our Geist, okay. It's an action with an Amber Pip. Play, choose a creature in any haunted player's discard pile. Play that creature as if it were in your hand. So it's like a much better version of Exhume. This could help get our TikToks back. It could help get our Mars stuff going. It could also pull an opponent's like Infernus or something. And then we've got Return to Rebel. Not the board wipe that we're looking for, but not bad. Play, shuffle the top 10 cards of your discard pile into your deck. If you do, destroy each creature. If we could do that after a big, our opponent wipes our Mars board and we've got a bunch of Mars cards in there, we can just cycle them back. Then we've got the artifact Plow Sword. Action, put a creature in a discard pile on the bottom of its owner's deck. If you do, deal 3 damage to a creature. Super, super good. And then this is, no, we've got 1 card after this. We've got Synchronizer. It's an artifact with an Amber Pip. This also always comes with the clock creatures. It reads, each friendly clock creature gains destroyed, move half the time counters rounding up from this creature to Synchronizer, and Omni, move all time counters on Synchronizer to a friendly clock creature. It's an interesting way to trigger the Ancestral Timekeeper on a non-Geistoid turn. Ooh, and then Scoobu. 3-power creature with while Scoobu is in your discard pile, if you would draw a card during your turn, you may discard the top 3 cards of your deck and return Scoobu from your discard pile to your hand instead. It's not bad, a great way to mill on time if we know that all of our combo pieces and everything that we need is in our discard pile. I mean, it's just an easy way to keep cycling pretty quickly. Fantastic. Well, obviously I love what I see here. It's going to be interesting to theorycraft a little bit about that Key Abduction and TikTok nonsense. We will see what we can do. I will be right back with our deck breakdown. Alrighty, we're here now with the deck breakdown. Got our usual piles, the Amber Control effect. Oh my goodness, Expected Amber? What am I saying? Yes, Expected Amber. Goodness, completely lost my brain there. Yes, Artifact Control and Creature Control. And then, of course, our Haunted pile for Grim Reminders. There is our SAS score. We're looking at 71. It's a bit lower than I expected, to be completely honest. We do have a -1 in anti-synergy, or a -1. It looks like that is mostly from bad chemistry. We have so many creatures that can affect us pretty poorly. There's also a little bit from BR Geist, because Return to Rubble would pull us out of Haunted pretty much all of the time, being that it shuffles 10 cards back. So, but outside of that, there's no real anti-synergy. I expect it to be higher with the, Synchronizer, Ancestral Timekeeper, TikTok, and all of that combined with Key Abduction and the Near Future Lens and WFO. It just feels like it would be pretty easy to lean heavy into early Geistoid and just keep archiving our Star Alliance until the time comes in which we, play Key Abduction and then cycle it super easy with either Near Future Lens or, Glixel Proliferator. So I am surprised that the SAS is lower, but, maybe I will play it and it turns out that it's a little too slow to get those combos to go off. There is our extras and counts. Looking at 14 bonus Amber, which isn't bad. I always love to see an 18, but it's hard to get there. Actions, we've got 14, which is a little above average. Creatures is about average. Artifacts, we've got creatures is 17. Artifacts is 3, which is about average. Upgrades is 2, about average. And then we have our archives. So the things that affect archives are the 2 TikToks and the Glixel Proliferator. Our key cheats is Key Abduction, no scaling Amber Control, and then 1 board wipe in Return to Rubble. And there is a thorough breakdown of our Haunting score. Of course, you will see these cards in a little bit, but Holiday Festival is one of the big ones. That one's in our Amber Control, but then we've got Scoobu, 2 UFOs, 2 surveys. I'm also surprised that Near Future Lens isn't here. I feel like you'll be playing cards from the top of the deck often, but that is fair. So our Haunted score is pretty good. Let's clear that away. There is our Amber and Control. Looking at a 7.9 in Amber Control, which is not super high. 15 for Expected Amber, also not super high. No Artifact Control, clearly, and then 11 in Creature Control, which, again, could be better. I think it's a very combo-heavy deck. On the surface, it doesn't seem to do a whole lot, but if you have enough time to really set it up, it could go pretty crazy. Grab this, and we'll start digging into our Amber Control here. Starting with Holiday Festival, just the discard 5, which should help get us to Haunted, and then some capture to follow up for each Geistoid card. Triangulator Newsome to take advantage of the captured Amber, push it into our pool. Quartermaster Body to capture Amber. Psychic Network for some easy stealing. Grabber Jammer for key cost and capture. And Don't Believe Your Eyes for basically a delayed steal if we can play it while Haunted, or just a regular capture if not. We're going into our expected amber here. Very few cards. A lot of it was bonus pips. Mars first for the amber pip, and then the ready and use, which you'll typically just reap with Mars creatures. And then Essence Entangler, mostly for its scrap effect and the amber pip, but also you could return some amber to yourself through its effect if you put it on an enemy creature and, get them destroyed. We have no artifact control, which stinks. This set has some pretty decent artifact control, so it stinks not to see it in a deck, but it's okay. A lot of the decks are very combo heavy, very reminiscent of Coda speed, so artifact control isn't always necessary. Creature control here, we're starting with Lieutenant Halasta, the ability to stun creatures in a variety of ways. Pyro for that splash attack, Flotsam Spewer for more splash attack, Bad Chemistry for some weird stunning, Snippy, which is very versatile. Fighting it is, 3 power with Skirmish. Playing it is 2 damage to a creature. Scrapping it is destroying an enemy flank creature, so super powerful. And then we have Erixum the Diplomat, 2 power, elusive. This is the one where we lose our amber to destroy enemy non-Mars creatures. So, not bad, especially with the Key Abduction combo. Good to have some creature control on Mars. Then our Plow Sword to be able to cycle creatures either on our deck or our opponents. Deal 3 damage. And then Unprepared for a very good stun. And Return to Rubble for a pull us out of Haunted, most likely, into a pretty easy board wipe. So pretty good. And then, of course, our Haunted pile. Already said them, but we'll show them off here again anyways. We've got Surveys, 2 UFOs, which are really strong, and then Scoobu, which, again, just helps us cycle to that combo easier. Another big part, I think, of the just playing Geistoid consistently at the early game and archiving as much Star Alliance as possible. This could very easily lend a hand to that. Clear that away. And last but not least, we have our speed and board. 17 in speed, which makes sense. We've got 2 UFOs, 2 surveys, and a near future lens, which are all pumping it up real high. But then also the TikToks and the Ancestral Timekeeper can help us speed up that deck. Then power-wise, we are pretty negative. We've got negative 15 because of Return to Rubble. And then the other big power creatures are Prototype Harness, which is actually an upgrade, but buffs, power by a significant amount. And then Ancestral Timekeeper and the Chronometers for their power and armor being pretty high, but they self-destruct, so. Recursion, we've got a good bit. We've got Glixel Proliferator, BR Geist are both of our TikToks. Scoobu recurs itself, Return to Rubble recurs 10 cards, and Plowsword lets us cycle a creature. We have got 0 creature protection. In Disruption, we have Cultural Exchange, Plowsword, and Chronometer, not super high. And then in Other, for board effects, we have Synchronizer, BR Geist, and Key Abduction for positive, and then Near Future Lens for -2. And clear that away. Alrighty. Well, I'm happy to be back into our usual grind. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This deck seems pretty crazy. If I've played it by the next time that I stream the KeyForge Team League stuff, I might give a quick talk about Miss Elmo Oppenheimer. Very funny name. If I get the chance to play it between now and then, but I've definitely got to give it a shot. These Grim Reminders combos can get out of hand. If we had Winds of Death, I think that this deck would just... It would implode. It would become a bit too strong a bit too quickly. But especially with, Return to Rubble comboed, and there's just so much going on here. This set's really fun. It's really crazy. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Happy to get back to the usual schedule for a little bit here. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Remember, the most important part of KeyForge is the person sitting across the table. Bye now.